Can you believe we've reached the end of another month? I thought I would go ahead and film my what I crocheted in July video. Hey, it's Tammy, Crafty Mompreneur. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, well, welcome back. I can't believe that July is already over and August is here. So crazy how fast this year has gone by. I thought I would go ahead and film my what I crocheted in July video. I generally try to keep the format of these videos the same, where I show you anything brand new to the channel first. Like, this is stuff that you've never seen before in previous videos. And then I will move into maybe things where I have made the item before, but maybe you haven't seen this actual physical plushie before. And then at the end of the video, I will show briefly, like we're gonna just like speed round through any of the previous videos that these plushies have appeared in July. So that's how this video is going to be formatted, and I kind of feel like I have a lot more plushies than I have in previous months because my bin was full. I had a basket full, like a laundry basket full. And so we're just going to see how many plushies I crocheted this month. And at the end of the video, I'll have a grand total for you, as well as a dollar amount of how much all of these plushies are worth if I were to sell them at what I would charge at a market or online. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. Now I'm already going to change things up a little bit because I'm going to go ahead and show you the market bags first. I think I usually save those till the end, but I think I'm just going to show those first today and get those out of the way because I have those at the bottom of the bin, and so I'll be able to just put them back in the bin, you know? As you know, crochet plushies are normally what I crochet and share on this channel the most, but I have kind of gotten addicted to crocheting market bags. And this market bag tutorial is the Stephanie Zed tutorial here on YouTube. And I did get 2 more completed in July. So the first one I crocheted was out of Psychedelic and Rainforest were the colors of Lily, Sugar, and Cream. And here's what it looks like. Of course, Rainforest is the green, and then Psychedelic is like all the colors. I still need to order some like of those tags that you put on bags that I see Passionate Kelsey puts them on her bags. That's where I got the idea. And I have that linked saved. I just have to go in and actually do it, but I don't know. I just feel like it would kind of level up the market bags, you know, if you have your own little like logo on them and stuff. But I haven't gotten around to that yet. So here's market bag number 1. So the second market bag that I made in July was out of Renegade for, it's kind of like a camouflage, and Overcast is the solid color. So here's that. And this is the big version. But yeah, this one I like this one. It's very, it's giving camouflage vibes, you know? So those are the only non-plushy things that I crocheted this month. Okay, the next section is going to be kind of a recap of the things that I've been crocheting and sharing over on my TikTok account. Now, I don't really know how many of you guys are actually over on TikTok, or if you use that as a platform at all, but I have decided to expand my reach and branch out over to TikTok. My daughters like to, you know, use that platform. And I've had a TikTok for a while, but I just kind of quit using it when I was building my YouTube channel for the last, like, I don't know, it's been almost a year since I've been posting videos over here on YouTube. And so I thought I would just go ahead and try and revive my TikTok account because it is another avenue for me to generate revenue and, you know, exposure and things like that. And I don't know, I just felt like I felt like I have a pretty good handle on YouTube, and I decided to go down to the 2 long form videos every week, which has been pretty good. This week, I think I'm only doing 1 because we did do a little mini staycation here for a few days. So I decided that I'm not going to beat myself up and try and do 2 videos a week. I'm just going to do 1, and it's this one. How I decided to start sharing over there on TikTok was by doing a series. And the kind of the same way that I started sharing over here on YouTube, where I was sharing my progress to reaching, to getting my channel monetized. And so over there on TikTok, you have to have 10,000 followers in order to join their creator rewards program, where you can get paid for the videos that you make. Now, I'm already part of like the TikTok shop over there, but I don't really share enough videos really to be able to like make money from them, really. I haven't really capitalized on that. But I did think it would be fun to kind of share and see how long it took me to get to that monetization level over on TikTok. And so what I did is I started a series of sharing every day what I crocheted that day. And I called it the sharing what I crocheted until I reached 10,000 followers. I don't remember. I don't know exactly what I say. I kind of say it different every time, but anyways, it's a series where I am sharing everything that I crochet each day until I reach 10,000 followers. Okay. So that's the gist of what I'm sharing on TikTok. So if you were curious about what I crochet each and every day, that's where you would want to go. Now, I just share these, monthly recaps here in the long form content video area. And I was toying with the idea of maybe doing YouTube shorts here, but then I keep seeing like people saying that if you share YouTube shorts, it messes up the algorithm for your long form video. And so I just don't know enough about that. So for now, I'm just sharing short form content over on TikTok. What I started doing over on TikTok is I had like a bowl of animals, of these little like figurines. And what I do is I pick one of these out of a bowl and then I just crochet, whatever the little figure is, right? And so what I thought would be fun to do for this video is, this is a bowl over there on TikTok. And so to share with you what I've crocheted this month, I'm gonna just pick from our little bowl of animals and then pull the actual plushie that I crocheted. So it's gonna be kind of similar to what I'm doing over there on TikTok, but we're gonna do it this way because these have already all been crocheted. And then I still have more to show you after that, so hang tight. So let's pull animals from the bowl and I'll show you what I crocheted in the month of July. Now, of course, these aren't going to be in any particular order. So if I happen to draw my favorite thing that I crocheted this month, it is in this, I think it's in here. Yeah, it is. I usually share my favorite crochet plushie that I made during the month, and I kind of have two. So we'll just get to it when we get to it. But let's pick the first thing that I'm going to show you. It's really loud. I'm going to try and do it like quietly so it's not too loud. All right. The first one I'm going to show you is a blue little axolotl. I tried a new axolotl pattern, and this is by Peach Puffin Patterns on Etsy. And it's kind of just a more realistic axolotl than what I was crocheting. And it works up actually pretty quickly. You crochet it from the front to the tail, and then it's like all one piece, and then you end up just crocheting around the tail to put it together. But I mean, this is like my new favorite axolotl pattern. Now it is going to be more than the 12, or I think I was charging 12 for those other ones I was making, but yeah, it is so cute. All right. Next is the little lion I made. And I decided to go with a chubby buddy for this one. And this is by the Cozy Stitch. And I did embroidered eyes on this one. And I used Bernette blanket yarn, but then for his mane, I used Sweet Snuggles Light or Chanel Home Slim or whatever. But yeah, he turned out really cute. Next. Oh, the pink axolotl. Little pink axolotl. Again, I used the same pattern, Peach Puffin Patterns, did it in pink this time. So cute. I think for these, I'm gonna do like, I wanna say like 18. I don't know. I just have to, yeah, I think 18. Maybe 20, I don't know. Love how their tails are flat. Oh, the way that they have you do these is you actually crochet out one piece and then you reattach and crochet out again. And then you attach them together. So it's like two pieces in one, and it gives it that little like feeling. You know, it makes it kind of, I don't know, it seems more realistic. I just really love this pattern. All right, next up is a little kitty. I know I did a loaf cat. Oh, here it is. So I did this loaf cat. Again, this is Anne Caraway art, loaf cat, and this is the kitten size. And for these, I charge $15. And I don't make any modifications or anything to the pattern. I just make it as is. Next up. Oh, so a squirrel. Now, a squirrel is not something that I would normally crochet, but I was up for the challenge. And so I found a pattern. I found a free pattern on, I want to say it was a blog. I don't remember off the top of my head who it was, but I will find it and I will post it on the screen and in the description box along with everything else once I find it. But this is how it turned out. It, of course, is not the same color as the little figurine, but that's okay. But this one is not one that I would be making again. It had way too many color changes. And it took me way too long for, I mean, it's an okay size, but it's definitely not something that I would make again. So did it turn out cute? Yes, it is pretty cute, but everything had to be sewn on. Like, it was just a lot of sewing. And then these were surface crocheted. These were sewn on. Like, it was just too much sewing and too many parts for the amount of money that I would be charging for something like this. So squirrel is done, but this is definitely a one-off. Next one I'll show you is a little chubby cat with stripes. And this is the loaf cat I decided to do for that one. Again, Anne Caraway art. I don't normally do the striped just kitten because it is extra work to do all the color changes. But for the challenge of pulling, you know, little cat creatures from the bowl, because the little cat like had stripes on it. So that is what I decided to go ahead and do. It turned out cute though. The next one I got was the little gator. So let's see what gators. I pulled an old favorite pattern that I needed to market prep anyway. So this is the baby gator by Hook Crochet by Carlina on Etsy. And I made it out of Chenille Home Slim. And I went ahead and made two of them just because they are pretty quick, and every time I take them to a market they sell. So this is a cute little gator pattern. It works up fast because it doesn't have the really long tail of the ones that I was making, and people love it just the same. So little baby gators. The next one to show you is a blue turtle. Now I did decide that I needed to work on keychain inventory, so I made the little Element Art baby turtle pattern. This one is a free one on Instagram. Shared about it before, but next one. Okay, this one is a little corgi. And this is one that my daughter recently picked, and I actually just finished this today. This is a brand new pattern that I bought for this challenge. And this is, I'm not even gonna attempt the name of this shop. I'm just gonna drop it on the screen and in the description box. It's a little playful pup. It's down on its, like with its butt in the air. It's worked all in one piece, and it is like the most adorable little guy. It comes in a pattern pack with like 5 other dogs. And so unfortunately there's not a lab, which I would have liked there to be a lab, but I might be able to like alter the pattern a little bit and make some lab ears and stuff with some of the other patterns that are in it. It has a Rottweiler, a Husky, like a King Charles, and a Cocker Spaniel. So those are some of the ones in it, but this turned out so cute. This one might be my favorite that I've made this month, I think. So yeah, this one is super cute. And I'm definitely gonna try and make a couple more dogs for my markets, because I feel like this is just not one that I have ever seen anyone make before. And it worked up relatively fast. So I do like this little pattern. Okay, next from the bowl, what? An orange turtle. Won't spend too much time on that because I made another little keychain. Orange turtle, orange keychain. All right, next up was a little bunny. Now, I was gonna do a simple bunny, but my daughter was here from college and she decided that she wanted to pick the pattern. So I said, okay. And I gave her the whole, like, I need a bunny pattern. And so she went off to Etsy. So she found this pattern by Wendy Crochets Co. on Etsy. And it's a little bunny. She still has fuzz all over her. A little bunny in overalls. The overalls are actually removable, but I'm not taking them off. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and sew on the bows. Right now I just have them tied on, but this little bunny is very cute. Now, she was quite a bit of work because you have to make the clothes and then you have to sew on, I think you have to sew on the ears, and then she has a lot of parts. Will I make another one? I don't know. I'm torn because first of all, I don't know if it's gonna sell. I told my daughter I was gonna make another one. Oh, because this pattern, it's an 11-in-1 baby bunny and clothing crochet pattern bundle by Wendy Crochets Co. And it has like a little baby hoodie, and I mean, I feel like they would sell, but maybe they would sell better in the spring. I'm not sure. I think maybe I didn't time myself making it, so I probably should time myself making the next one to have a better idea of what to charge for it. Because as she stands right now, she's at least a $40 bunny, I think, at least, because of the clothes and stuff. But there she is. Okay, next up, we have a blue duck. And this is the rubber duck that I made for this challenge. I didn't have really a royal blue, but I just picked this slate blue because I was using Sweet Snuggles Light and Chenille Home Slim for my rubber duckies. So you'll be seeing a lot more of these later on in the video. Oh, then I got a giraffe. And I went back to an old pattern that I really liked. So this giraffe pattern is by KS Crochet Critters on Etsy. I have made it before, but it's been a while. This will sit on its own. Like, I don't really have a space in here to show you right now, but usually you make the muzzle out of like tan, but I don't have any tan in my Sweet Snuggles Light or Chenille Home Slim. So I went with this like multicolored tan-ish one. I think it works. I do love this pattern. The only thing that you have to sew on are the legs and the horns. I think everything else is crochet, and then the head, of course. Everything else is crocheted in. I think even the ears are crocheted in, and these front legs are crocheted in. And then the tail is just a surface crochet deal. But yeah, it's really cute. I remember this getting a lot of attention, but it's just been a long time since I've made one, but it is really super cute. Okay. Next is a little lamb. It's a little lamb. I know it's hard to see, but I decided to go with a Mama Made Minis little knotted snuggler, and I embroidered the eyes. This one, I remember it being one of the more popular ones. It's one of the ones that sold first, and so of course I had to remake it. I always forget like how much I enjoy making these knotted loveys until I actually do them, because they work up actually rather quickly. But anyways, all right, next in the bowl we have a little pink frog. So for that, I just went with a leggy frog, not Jaded Co, leggy frog, just to build up inventory for my markets. It's basic, but I was gonna do light pink, but I'm out of light pink, so we had to do dark pink. Next, oops, I picked you. Oh, and then we have a green frog. So I made the dark green leggy frog. I'm all out of my good green, the lighter green for Sweet Snuggles Light and Chenille Home Slim, so dark green frog it is. Come to think of it, I could have done mint, but oh well. All right, next, a little panda. I just finished this one today too. I went with the Poggy's Place little critters, and I've made the panda before and it sold, so I thought this is not one that I have currently in my inventory, so it was the perfect panda to make, because these are really quick to make. The next one I'm going to show is a little polar bear. Oops, a polar bear. Is that showing? I don't even know. So for polar bear, I didn't want to have to like keep buying patterns. So I really tried to like dig into my inventory of patterns to try and find something that I could like modify. So what I ended up doing for the polar bear is I grabbed my a bundle pack that I got from the Friendly Red Fox 2023 when I first started crocheting, and it was just a regular like squishy bear, and I decided to just make it the polar bear option. And so I have this little polar bear with a red scarf. I embroidered the eyes because I feel like, I just feel like it's just gonna be like a good little squishy toy for like a little kid. So I wanted to make sure that I did embroidered eyes on something that a little kid might like. But her patterns are all free on her blog. I just oftentimes, like with patterns on websites, I like to go ahead and buy the pattern just to have it, especially when it's one that I make it from their blog for the first time and then really enjoy it and like the way it turns out. And so then I'll usually just buy the pattern so that I have it and it's faster. So, little polar bear. All right, next from the bowl is a capybara. Okay, so for this one, I had purchased the Plushie Co. capybara that she just recently came out with, and I wanted to see if it would be a good replacement for the free one that I was making. And here's how it turned out. This is one that you work from the front to the back. It's a no-sew, there's no eyes, because you just crochet them in. I thought I had the other little capybara, but maybe I made it last month. I don't see it in here. Anyways, so yeah, I made one last month, and it's the free pattern from somewhere, I can't remember. But if you look at what I crocheted in June, I made a smaller version of one of these. I'm not sure, my daughters liked the smaller version better than this bigger one. They thought that the head was too big on this. So I don't know if I'm gonna make another one of these. I might try one more time and like maybe take out one of the rounds from the head, because my daughters just thought the head looked too big. And it could be the yarn that I'm using, or it could be that I yarn over and not yarn under. I don't even know, but we might try and make this again, because I mean, I feel like it's a good size. It's bigger than the other one, but again, if I'm trying to find small market makes, this is definitely not a $10 item. This is more like an 18, 15, 18, something like that. So anyways, all right, just a few more from the bowl. We've got a little chubby bear, and I went ahead and stuck with the little critters for bears and made this little squishy bear from Poggy's Place. And again, she has so many different patterns. If you haven't, if you are someone who does markets, these tend to be good sellers for me. So I would highly recommend Poggy's Place for little critters. All right, next up. All right, it's a little purple birdie. All right, the story behind the bird. Okay, so there are tons of bird patterns out there, right? And I could have easily just grabbed a free pattern off of the internet and made your basic bird pattern, right? But I decided to be a little bit extra, because if you look at this little figurine, it's got kind of a bigger bottom and it kind of goes to the top. Like, I don't know if you can see. It kind of matches my nails too, but anyways. So here's the little bird. Okay. And see how it has, first of all, it has wings, and then it's a lot bigger at the bottom than it is at the top. And then it's got a little like tail. And I was like, I could not find a pattern out there that was exactly this kind of shape. They were all just pretty much like straight down, and I got tired of looking. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna try my hand at designing a little quick and easy little bird to match the little bird that I pulled from the bowl. So here is my version of the little bird. I even gave it the same little squinty eyes, and I made it pink and purple. So here's the little bird from the bowl, and here is my version. Isn't it so cute? Like, and so then I was toying with the idea of like, should I release this as a little tutorial? Is there already too many little birds out there, or should I like recreate this for a YouTube tutorial and, you know, inexpensive pattern on my website? I'll let you guys decide if that is. I did write it down, you know, once I did it. So I could recreate it. So let me know if you guys like this little bird, or if there's enough birds out there to go around. But this was my little inspiration, and this was my little pattern design. All right, there's only a few left. And a lot of them are gonna be ones that you saw before. So this one, I did this teal duck. I mean, it's not exactly the same color, but close enough. People on TikTok were saying that I should give him, he looks like Perry the platypus, kind of, and I should have given him a hat, but I did not. But anyway, I'll share more information about the ducks when, you know, we did the whole like, how many ducks can I make in a day video. So in that video, I'll explain a little bit more about the pattern. But yeah, here's this little duck. Next was this little brown doggy. I didn't know what to make. I was like, I have a couple of like dog patterns that I want to make, but I pulled out one of them and I was like, no, I'm not gonna make that. And then I started making a little snuggler, and I was gonna try and use some like fuzzy yarn, because this little dog looks like kind of fuzzy, kind of. And then I was like, no. So I decided to just get some brownish yarn and make the little AQ Crochets sitting dog. And I tried to like, I think I made the ears longer. I don't know what I did, but it's kind of funny looking. I can't say that I like love it, but it's done, and it's a little dog, and every time I make these little dogs, people like them, so I'm pretty sure that he'll sell when I take him to the market. Next is a yellow chameleon. Now, I was like, I almost threw this back. I almost threw it back, and I was like, no, I don't want to make that. I don't have a chameleon pattern. I don't know how to make a chameleon. I didn't really want to make a chameleon. But my oldest daughter was like, just make it. But I didn't want to make it yellow. So I made a green chameleon, and this is what it turned out like. I actually just finished this yesterday. So this one is a pattern by Suwu Store. And I will say that this was a lot. I was not expecting this to first of all, to be so big. It's pretty big. To give you an idea, I think it was, you crochet it from the front to the tail, like it's no sew. I think it's just surface crocheted, and then you crochet these I did it out of acrylic yarn, and then you sew on the spots. So if you can opt to not do the spots, and it would be completely no sew because you crochet these into the round. But I did sew them on because I think it just adds another like dimension. And then to make the tail curl, you thread yarn through the tail and then just pull it tight. So with this, I made it out of Naughty Ball yarn, and I totally like did not pay attention or what, but the pattern said that it took a skein of yarn. And so I was like, cool, I have a full skein of this green color. Started crocheting, and I was like, I'm gonna run out of yarn. And so then I was like looking through my yarn, and I didn't see another skein of this green, even though I had just placed a Naughty Ball order. I thought maybe I just ordered one skein. So I immediately get online and I ordered another few different colored yarn. I ordered some of this color and then some more blue and something else. I think I ordered like 5 skeins. And then I had to set this project aside and wait for the new skein of yarn to come. And then I got to like the tail part, and this is just so much crocheting in the round, and it gets so small that I was like, oh, I don't want to do that project. So this one sat for a while, and I actually just finished it yesterday because I was like, finally like, you know, I just need to finish the tail and then do the decorating part, and it's done. So I need to just like buckle down and do it. So this is not one that I would probably make again unless it was for a custom order, because it did take so long, and it's big. It's not a small chameleon. Like, this is a big chameleon. It's so detailed. It's gonna have to be like probably a $50 item. It's as big as my body across, you know, my shoulders. See that? How big it is? It's cute. And you know, this one and the little dog are probably my 2 favorites that I made this month because they were both new patterns to me. Again, like I said, I'm not sure if I'd make them again unless it was for a custom order. This one is a chicken and egg, and you can guess which one I made. The Louienberg chicks and egg, and I actually decided to make 2 of them just because they do sell good for me. I'm actually not sure how good they will sell in the fall because I only have sold them in the spring. But I made 2 yellow ones, and hopefully people like them. I probably should have a handful of them on display at the same time in different colors, I think. So we'll have to see, but I made 2. The last 2 that I have are a green turtle and a green dinosaur. And so I will just show you those together because the green is a green turtle that I've already shown you. The other colors. And then for the dino, I went ahead and made a Studio Phoebe 22 Chubby Dino. And this is one that I've shared numerous times before, as far as like in different colors, but they always tend to sell pretty good for me. All right, so that wraps up all of the plushies that I've crocheted from my Bowl of Animals like challenge from TikTok. And now what I want to share is some keychains that I've made and a little bit about what's going on with my like whole keychain thing. I'm still trying to use up a lot of this, like a lot of the keychain like hardware that I've bought, and it's what I use is these plastic clips and little chains. I decided, I think I saw, was it Plushie Co? I think it was, that came out with this little mini stitch. So I bought the pattern thinking that it would be a quick make. This one took a while because everything has to be sewn on, the arms, the ears, and I think these are like a front and back piece. So I won't be making any more of these little guys. They were definitely too much work to warrant the price that I would have to charge for them. But yeah, it's a cute pattern if you're just gonna make it for like a gift or something though. So he did turn out cute, but definitely not one that I would make again, I don't think. With my keychains, I've decided to start doing mystery boxes. I've seen a few people doing them, but I think I recently saw Crafty Kate here on YouTube posting about her mystery boxes. And so I was like, Then my daughters were telling me about how, you know, the Labubu craze is still going on strong, and people like to be able to like open the box and see what it is and collect them all, and they hope they get this one. And so I decided to kind of, and that they are keychains. So what I'm gonna do is I have decided that I'm gonna do mystery boxes with keychains. So over the last few weeks, I have been working on those, and I'm not gonna go through all the details of that because I think I'm gonna do a separate video of me like making the mystery boxes and kind of revealing like the whole process that I'm going through to make them. But I did crochet some things this month. And so I'm just going to show you what I crocheted and then save all the details of the mystery boxes for another video, because this is probably going to be way longer than my usual videos. So I think I'll just kind of briefly share what I made for keychains. So I have these little leggy frogs, and I made 5 of them. I will put the patterns for these all in the description box because they are all free. Yeah, I think these are all free patterns. So I have 5 leggy frogs, baby leggy frogs that is. Then I made a little dino, and this is from Club Crochet. I was trying to find like the perfect like bee pattern, and I tried a couple online, some free ones, and they weren't the right size. One was way too big, and then the other one was too small. So I ended up going back to a pattern that I was making like mini bees from like a couple years ago, and this is what it looked like. And then I thought, I showed it to my daughter, and she's like, maybe just take out 1 row back here. So I tweaked it a little bit, and then I made this one. So I have 2 bees. And then this is one that I saw, I think, on Crafty Kate's video. A little keychain or bag tag or bag buddy or whatever of a capybara. So we got that one. And then I was trying to find a little like chick to use, and I didn't want it to be too big because I'm trying to keep these all like the same size. But I had originally made this little guy, And this is, I think this is Hook Crochet Co. And it was supposed to be like a little chick in an egg, but I wasn't going to do the egg. So I'm like, this is too small. So I just added some rows and came up with this one. I'm not sure I love this one yet, but I also think I put the eyes too far apart. So I might rework this one a little bit. But I did make these two chicks. Okay, so the little bit about my mystery box, and I'm going to explain this in more detail in a separate video in August, but I'm trying to come up with like miniatures of like best sellers for my mystery boxes. And so my daughter was like, what about a cow? And I was like, okay, a mini cow might not be like the price range of what I'm looking for. So I found a tutorial on YouTube for a little mini cow. And this is what it was. I'll put the link in the description. I can't remember the name of it. But I will link it in the description if you like this little cow. I don't know. I thought it was cute and she thought it was cute, but I didn't love how you had to like sew on the ears. You had to sew these on. And then you had to sew on this. So I felt like it was just too much sewing for a little mystery box, like $10 item, right? So I was like, okay, well, that was attempt number one. So then I was like, okay, well, maybe I can find another pattern on Etsy for this little miniature cow that's maybe less sewing. So then I was on the hunt and I came across this little cow. And this one is from, I don't know how to say it. But this was a pattern I bought on Etsy. It wasn't very expensive. Hold on, how much was it? So when I bought this, I think it was like 50% off. So it was like $1 or $2. It was pretty cheap. So I didn't mind spending the money. But after I made it, I'm using the Naughty Ball yarn. So I thought from the picture, it looked like it would be small enough, but it wasn't. It's too big. Like, it's definitely too big. So I was like, well, dang, I guess I'll try something else. So then I looked for a cow on Instagram, maybe something a little bit different. I was kind of going for the look of this little capybara, but I couldn't really find anything, you know, really this small, because I thought this one was going to work, but it's way too big. So this is the size I'm going for, and this is how big it is. So capybara size, this cow did not work. So the sitting down cow did not work. Is it cute? Yes. Would I make it again? I don't know. Like, if I made it again, I think I would probably take out a row of the face because his head just looks too long, I think. So I tried this cow. Then I decided, well, I'm going to go back because out of all of them, my daughter liked this one the best. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to take some of what I learned from making these other cows and kind of combine it. And this is the final cow that I made. I added spots. I used a different like technique to put this on, so it's no sew. I surface crocheted these things in. So yeah, so this is no sew now. I did tack down the nose. But yeah, I do like this one. He's the winner. I gave him some spots, but yeah. So that is my first like phase of my mystery boxes. So stay tuned for another video in August where it'll be dedicated to me making the mystery box. Okay, the last part of this video is just going to be briefly showing or sharing about previous videos that I did during the month of July. So these are going to be, this is like the speed round, and I will link the previous videos that these are in, probably in the description box. I don't know how many, I think I have a limited number of videos that I can like put up here, I think. So it may or may not show up here, but I will add the cover image of the video. So first up was the Crochet Everything Brown Challenge. And for that, I did make 3 loveys. The kangaroo, these are all Mama Made minis. The kangaroo, I did not get a chance to make the little baby kangaroo, so this one could make another debut, and I will probably show her again when I make her little like baby for the pouch. So we have her, we have the bear in overalls, the fawn, and the monkey. Those are all Mama Made minis. There were also 2 loaf cats. So I think I'm pretty stocked up on loaf cats now. The otter. This is like life-size otter that was also from the Crochet Everything Brown. We had a brown Pop-Tart that I made this month, as well as 3 Mabel chickens. And my pile is falling. And then this little keychain cookie was also made this month. Then for a previous video of my fruit themed plushies, I did have the watermelon fruit spider. That was, I think I made this the very first day of July. This one is a favorite too. I do love this little spider. The other video that I had this month was the Scrappy Bear from the Citrus Yarn. So I have this Scrappy Bear. Oh, and then of course, how could I forget my basket full of rubber ducks? I'm not going to go through and take every single one of them out, but here are all the ducks that I crocheted for the how many rubber ducks can I crochet in a 24-hour-ish period. The total for that challenge was 23 ducks. And then when I add the 2 ducks that I crocheted this month, that brings me to a total of 25 rubber ducks that I crocheted this month. So that's pretty good, but I'm definitely stocked on ducks for now. The only other thing, I don't remember when I crocheted her, but I did finish her this month by embroidering her eyes. So there is the strawberry cow that is now done. When did I make her? I must have made her last month and not finished. I do love this little pattern and how I make her into a strawberry cow. She's very cute. And then my last plushies that I'm gonna show you are from my zombie guy tutorial that I did for the Minecraft zombie. And for that video, I did 4 different versions so I could try it in the different yarns just to see how it worked up. And these are the 4 Minecraft zombies that I made during the month of July. So if I did my math correctly, I made a total of 87 plushies for the month of July. And when I calculate the expected retail value, like this is what I would charge for them, I feel like I might have added wrong, but I'm not sure. But $1,403 worth of inventory, which I think is the most that I've made in a month in quite a while. So yay, kudos to me. Not sure I'm gonna be able to beat that in August, but we will see. I have that pop-up coming on August 9th that I have to figure out what I'm gonna take and what the setup's gonna look like. I'm pretty sure it's just like a 6-foot table. So there's that I have to figure out for the month, and then I don't know, we'll see. But I will say that I felt like it was a busier month crocheting. And you know, when I had the plushies like sit out, because I keep the bin empty, and then as I make things I put them in the bin. And even my daughters made a comment this morning. They're like, looks like you crocheted a lot this month. And from the numbers, it appears that I did crochet a lot in July. So give myself a little pat on the back for, you know, $1,400 worth of inventory. So now I just have to like get to the adding all of this to my Shopify website and taking pictures. Although, if I'm just taking it to a market and not like putting it out for public use, I just have to create a listing, right? So that might make things a little bit easier. Because with rubber ducks, like I'm not gonna track how many, I'm not tracking the colors. I think I'm just gonna put in that I have 25 in inventory and not track the numbers because I'm not making them available for sale on my website. But the things that I will make for sale, I do have to take pictures and stuff of all of that. So still so much to do, but I did have a very successful month crocheting for the month of July. So I do appreciate you for staying and watching until the end. So that is going to do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. It's a $40 bear. A 40, the leather, maybe, I don't know. But anyways, do love this little